If you've ever ended the day feeling frustrated and spaced out and ungrounded along down the computer, I'm thinking, then this video is for you. Recently, I was working in a co-working space and I looked around the room and all I could see were people moving. It's one of those quiet moments. People just moving something that didn't exist from one place on a screen to somewhere else that didn't really exist on a screen. And it was this very surreal moment because it's just all these people doing marketing, project management, and programming, and all these other things. But all they were actually doing was moving stuff in an imaginary realm from one place to another. And it really caught my imagination. And it reminded me of something which has been very helpful for me recently, which has dramatically improved my memory, which is to work with memory palaces. Now, a memory palace is just a fancy way for using your knowledge of a place that you already know. Think about it. You can easily picture your bedroom or a place that you used to work. Using that spatial awareness that you have of that place, putting images that remind you of the information that you want. Obviously, there's a bit more detail to how you actually do it. But putting images of the information you want into spaces in that place, and then you can walk around it, and it's fantastically effective. What this made me realize was that when we're moving something from one place to another on a screen, we're not using that at all. And I think that that has this effect of bit by bit, not in short bursts, but bit by bit, day by day, creating a habit in us of feeling very ungrounded. And so that's why at the end of a day, we have this sense of feeling ungrounded. But over time, I think it contributes, and I don't have any evidence to back this up, but I suspect it contributes to a general feeling of unease. This not really actually engaging with anything real. So what can we do about it? Well, there's a couple of things. The first is actually really quite straightforward. It takes a little bit of time to get into the habit of it. And that is to, but it's actually quite easy. That is actually to, when we take breaks, to make sure our breaks are about something physical. So don't take a break and then just do something else on the computer. Don't take a break and then just do something else on your phone. Take a break, get a glass of water. Feel yourself against the chair. Go and talk to a real person. Walk across the room. Look out the window at something. All of this will actually break that kind of trance that we can so easily get into. We'll break that trance and put us back in touch with our physical bodies. Now, the spatial awareness that we have when going around a memory palace is also in the body, obviously. So the spatial awareness of the memory palace is leveraging this body awareness that we have, this awareness that we have in our joints. It's called proprioception, which tells us where we are in space. So whatever we do which involves movement and physical reality will actually engage that system and ground us in the here and now in a completely different way. That's the first thing, doing these mini breaks and make sure that they are actual proper physical things. You can just touch an object with you, feel the warmth of your tea, the actual warmth of the cup, the smoothness of the cup. All of those sorts of things will really help. The second thing, and this is a little bit more tricky, but again, can be trained, just takes a little bit of practice. That's to actually be aware of our environment, even whilst we're working. So it's possible to be very, very focused on what we're doing, very focused in the meeting, and have some of our awareness with our physical experience. And what happens as we start to develop that skill is that it keeps us much more grounded, much more of the time. And it really does make a difference to that Zoom fatigue, for example, that we can have with long meetings. In the moment, paying attention to the shape of the screen or something that we can hold on to, just checking in regularly in real time really goes a long way to alleviating these feelings of being ungrounded. So that's a couple of things we can do. My personal experience is that as I've done this more and more, it's actually felt very calming for me. I know that the virtual world for me can actually create quite a lot of low level but sort of cumulative stress. And using these two very simple methods of breaks, which are physical oriented, and paying attention during my activities to my physical state, both of these things really seem to have dramatically reduced that low level stress that I had been feeling. If you'd like to find out more about this or any other aspect of managing your state, your emotional state, mental state, then do feel free to get in touch. Have a good day.